So today is the magical day of 10th of July, it's a Friday. So, and we're here today with Coco Creates. This is Coco and I'm Zoe. So I know it's a bit of a very late update video. I did film a video maybe about 10 days ago, and we're having some building work. We're having an extension put on the back of the house, and I did the video and I was listening to it back as I went through to sort of edit and upload it, and all you could hear was bang, 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 drilling, banging, all the way through. So you could barely hear what I was saying, and I thought, well, that's no good. It's then I had a bit of a, I don't know, you could call it a temper tantrum, where I'd got all the stuff out and I'd recorded the video and then I'd put everything away, and then I looked back at the video and had to delete it, and I was just like, I'm not going to do anything. So I deleted the video, and then I kind of had to have a bit of a step back before doing it again, because I was not going to re-record it straight away, because I just packed everything away and I was like, I'm not getting out, not getting out. So but here I am again. Julie from, oh, don't stand on my stuff. Julie from over at Stitching the Cabin actually messaged me saying, you've not done a video. I was like, yeah, I know. Like, I'm going to do one. So here I am doing my video, and we're like 2 minutes in, and all I've been talking about is about not doing a video and doing a video. So yes, so I'm in a different place today, as you can see. So I'm actually sat on my bed, because I have a double bed. So there's like me in the corner, and the rest of the bed is full of piles of stuff to show you. Because in my little chair, I haven't got room to pile things up. So I was like, I just out of the bed. I'll just kick everything out of the bed. So yes, but thank you for joining me. So I want to say thank you to all my subscribers. I just checked and I have 143 subscribers, so almost at 150. Which I don't know, I don't know if it's like unnerving. It's one of those emotions that I can't put into words, but it's just strange knowing that people care about my stitching, care about what I'm doing, and I don't know. In fact, some of you probably don't. Some of you probably only come here to see Coco. I don't know. You'll have to let me know below if you only come here to see Coco, and I'll put more Coco pictures in. But so there we go. As you can see, my fringe needs cutting. Not because I haven't been to a hairdresser's. I normally cut my fringe myself, but I just haven't got around to doing it yet. So I can sort of see you through. I look under my fringe. But yes. So I say so a lot, don't I? I need to find another word. Next on my list of things to do was, yeah, say thank you for subscribing. Thank you for watching. If you like my videos, you know, tick the little like. If you don't like my videos, then that's the dislike button. But if you don't like them, please tell me why you don't like them, in case, because like if it's something I can change, then I will. And of course subscribe. And if you want to know when I do post videos, then press the little bell thing. I don't know what it does because I don't actually turn that on. I don't have that on for any of my channels. I just tune into YouTube and go through my subscriptions when I want to watch people. So, but yeah, so lots has been going on in the world, as we all know. So some parts of our country is coming out of lockdown slowly. A few places are reopening. You can start meeting people as long as you're sort of an acceptable distance apart, as long as you're wearing masks. You can sort of socialise-ish. A few shops have been reopening, sort of restricting numbers of people going in, have to wear a mask. Not all shops are requiring masks, but pretty much all shops are restricting the numbers of people that are in the shop at one time. So sometimes you have to queue outside, and then the queues are, you've got like lines on the floor showing people how to stand 2 meters apart. So, you know, we're getting there slowly. I don't think we'll be getting back to normal until there's a cure for it, or until there's some way of spreading an immunity. And I think we keep talking about things getting back to normal, as in like normal is this goal that we should all strive for. And actually there's a lot of things that were normal that we probably don't really want to go back to doing, you know. So I know a lot of things have come about because of the lockdown and because people are stuck at home. So we're doing remote learning, remote working, remote meetings, and they're things that a lot of, you know, especially disabled people have been asking for years and have been told that it's not possible. And now we find that actually it was, just when it was only us disabled people that wanted it, it wasn't worth you trying to implement. But you know, so hopefully things like that will continue and won't be taken back. I think that would be a big step back for a lot of people. So yeah, so sort of praying that continues. With COVID, with Black Lives Matter, and you know, I only have really two things to say, and the first one being that if you do not want to listen, that is your privilege. You're allowed to not listen. I'm not going to force you to listen to things. I'm not going to force you to take part. I'm not going to force you to think one way or another. But if you want to turn away and ignore it, that is your privilege. That is your white privilege. And you need to appreciate that. You know, a black person doesn't have the privilege of thinking, oh, I'll just go for a run today, because they might go out running and somebody might chase them and shoot them because they're black and they must be a criminal, because that's how some people view black people. You know, black people can't just ignore those things. They have to think about it every day, every morning when they wake up. You know, is someone going to hurt me? Am I going to get attacked because of my skin? Is my child going to be, you know, assaulted in the street? Is my child going to get shot by the police? And that's something that, as white people, you don't have to worry about going out. And it's not that white people don't have problems, it's that the problems white people face are not made worse because they are white. Black people face those problems too, but they also face the issue of being judged because of their skin, which they can't change. So, you know, yes, this is a cross-stitch channel. Yes, I will talk about cross-stitch and maybe knitting and cats and other fun things. But I just make it known that, you know, I won't just stick to cross-stitch because other people don't want to listen to this. If you don't want to listen, skip ahead, skip my video. You know, that's, but you need to appreciate that that is your white privilege that is allowing you to do that. That's it. And my second point is that when we say Black Lives Matter, it does not mean that white people don't. When I say trans lives matter, it does not mean cis lives don't. When I say disabled lives matter, it doesn't mean that abled lives don't. You know, what it means is that, unfortunately, the world needs reminding that black people are people. And, you know, we shouldn't have to remind people that black people are people too. You know, but we do. And, you know, when we say Black Lives Matter, we don't mean that all lives don't matter. What we mean is that all lives should matter, but they do not. And this is the problem. And all lives won't matter until Black Lives Matter, until Black trans lives matter, until disabled lives, you know, until all lives matter. Just going around and saying, but all lives matter. It's like, yeah, we know they should, but they do not matter. And that is the problem. And you know, and whether you think or don't think that Black Lives Matter, like, that's not a political issue. Like, whether certain groups of humans deserve to be treated like people is not a political issue. Like, it's not politics. Politics is, you know, how much tax should we take, and who should get, you know, what should we fund with those taxes. That's politics. Politics isn't, should we treat these people like humans. That's just not politics. So yeah. So I'm going to pause here. We're going to have a quick break, go get a cup of tea or coffee or whiskey, whatever. Although I probably wouldn't recommend like a whole cup of whiskey. You know, just a small amount. Please don't go around drinking mugs of whiskey because I told you to. Like, no, don't do that. So yeah, go get a cuppa, and I'm going to start. I've got an FFO to show you, and then I've got a couple of whips, and then some other bits to show you. So, oh, and I might have a giveaway. So yeah, so pause me now and go get a drink. You get a cup of tea or whatever, you know, awesome. So this is my FFO. Now I've shown you this is a finished piece before, but I finally got her framed. So this is just a frame from the range. It's sort of like a fiberglass frame, I think. It's definitely not wood, I know that. It's got glass in the front though, and then it's got a mount, and the mount is just the right size for the cross stitch. This cross stitch is full coverage, and I try not to, I would try not to get the glare on it, but you know, whatever. So that's it. So you can see my little tripod with my camera just there. But yeah, so I think it was like maybe one stitch. I think this cross stitch was like one stitch too more, so I've covered up like 1 or 2 rows with the mount, but I think the mount looks better than the white fabric showing. So I prefer it like this, even though I am covering up a little bit of stitching. But yeah, so this is a DMC kit. This is called Persian Cat, and it comes as part of there's like a range of them. I think there's 4. So I've got two more. So I've got the Turkish Angora, and I've got the Tabby. I think I don't have the black and white cat yet, I think, but yeah, so that's that one. And I've got the same frame for all of them, so because when I get them all done, I want to sort of frame them together in exactly the same way. So yeah, so that is my one FFO, and that's in my bedroom at the minute. So this wall behind me, this is so I'm still in the process of decorating, but this is where all my cross stitches are going to go, is against this wall. So hopefully one day I'll have to send, you know, show a picture of them all out. But yeah, so that is my FFO. And so onto my whips. So I've only been working on 2 pieces this last sort of 6 weeks, or however long it's been. So I'll show you this one first. This is Ink Circles Castle Walls. So sorry, it's still in the packet. But yeah, and I'm doing this with some Silks for You silk. So this is the top arrow. I mean, it's pretty symmetrical all the way around. Just obviously each sort of gargoyle and each symbol is different, but it's square. So that is the first of the so there's like a arrow shape coming out of all 4. So that's the first piece, and then I've just started on the dark. So I'm using PR147 for, yeah, 147 for the light colour, and then the dark colour is PR069, I believe. If it's not, I will correct myself. I think it was, yeah, PR147. There we go. That's what I'm using, and that is on what fabric is it? It's cloud grey, 36 count fabric from Fabric Flair. So I get my Fabric Flair fabric. Try saying that if you've had your cup of whiskey. From sewitall.com or .co.uk. Just type Sewitall into Google. It's a UK based company and they have loads of these fabrics, and I love this. Fabric Flair is one of my favourite fabrics to wear. So they are printed, so the back of the fabric is just white. All their fabrics are printed on, but they're so soft. The holes are, you know, really easy to see. I don't know about the linen. I've only ever got the even weave because I prefer even weave, just because I don't like slubs on linen. So just because I like my stitches to be square, and when you get a slubby bit, sometimes your stitches get a bit wider or a bit thinner, and some designs that's perfect for. But a design like this that's perfectly square and geometrical, and you're using the blank space to make the picture, I really want this to be even. So yeah, so that's this fabric. So yeah, and it's 36 count. I'm using one strand of the silk over two. One strand over two on this one. So yeah, now this was my New Year, New Start. So I started this one on January the 1st, in the new year, obviously. And my aim was to have it completed within the year. So I think I divided it up into roughly, I think what was there, 1, 5, 7, 9. I think I divided it up into about 12 pieces and thought, oh, I'll do one piece a month and that'll do. So now we're on, well, we're just in the start of July and I've done 2 pieces. So not quite on track with that, but you know, you never know. It's bigger than I thought. It's not bigger than I thought. It's more stitches than I thought in it. So you know, but you never know. If I get a good month or so on it. I mean, I think this took me maybe 5 days of stitching. So if I'd have done a full week, I'd have also got the darker colour border, I think. So 7 days per piece. So if I get a good month stitching on it, you know, that would sort of speed me up. But to be fair, I'm not 100% on monogamous stitching at the minute. So, and you'll see why in a moment. The next thing I've been working on, now I will put a photo in here of, because I haven't got a photo of what it's going to look like when it's finished. So I'll put a photo in here of what it looks like when it's finished, and a photo of where I was at the start. Now this is Bath Time. It's a Hade, so Heaven and Earth Designs. It's charted by Michelle, but the original design was by Selena Fennick, and it's a mermaid in a bathtub. It's called Bath Time, and it's stunning. I love her hair in it. I think that's what drew me to it first. But yeah, I love the colours in her hair and the colour palettes. I do love the naturals and the really deep browns and those colours, and I think that's what drew me straight to the design, and I just loved it. So it is, I think it's 460 by 500, give or take, or 360, whatever. It's a Hade, so it's Hade size. It's a regular size, regular colours, this chart. And I'm using her for as my Velosano piece. So if any of you have been watching Michelle from BendyStitchy, or McKenna over at Stitching Sequins, or Erin over at Martini Stitcher, or who else? Rachael Rae over at, I think it's just Rachael Rae is her YouTube name. But if you're watching them, you'll have heard of Velosano. Velosano is the fundraiser that is run in support of the Cleveland Clinic, which basically 100% of the money they raise goes towards finding the cure for cancer, curing cancer. I was just waffling there. I'm going to cut that bit out. Right. So Zoe, when you're editing, remember to cut this bit out. All good. So I might try and unscrew this from the frame a bit. I'll take my grime guards off. I can't, I was trying to remember which frame this was. It's not an Omnic. It's not Millennium, obviously. I can't remember what frame it was. But I love this frame. So basically it's come with Velcro pieces and they were super sticky, and you stuck the Velcro onto your stitching, and obviously the other part of the frame has Velcro on anyway, and then you Velcro it down. So this is, if I can get rid of some of the threads out of the way, so this is my progress so far on her. So, which is great because now I can't actually see. So I'm still working on her, so that's why all the threads are quite loose. But yeah, I've got just down to there. So I'm just down to the bathtub. So that's just where the bathtub starts. So as you can hopefully see, because I can't actually see the camera at all. Yeah, so here's her hand. So, and the top of her hair, so I should get into her face sort of here and that. So I'm just working my way up just to finish this little gap in here, and then I'll be, so I do diagonal parking as that I sort of learned from Brian over at BendyStitchy. He does diagonal parking as well, and I found, because I did start off just doing the straight lines, just for a little bit, and I was already getting the marks in those first couple of columns, and it was not very long after I started that I watched Brian's video where he explained the diagonal parking, and I was just like, yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do that now. So so I started that, and yeah, so as you can see, I park my threads. I use Pattern Keeper for all of this, and I always park in the same place, and then I can mark that on my Pattern Keeper. I use, I mean, how many I've got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 6 needle minders on here, and one of my needle minders has a needle on, but the rest of them are used for holding my threads in place. So my loose threads, the threads that I'm working on, you know, it holds all of them sort of in place and separate from each other. So you'll see each group of threads that I have. So I'll have sort of these ones held by this needle minder, these ones I'm working on at the minute, so you can see this is what I've still got to go, and this is what I've just finished in this section. And then sort of her hair section here, that's held by another needle minder, and then the bit at the bottom is on another needle minder. So I use that to kind of keep each chunk separate rather than having all of them, because there is a lot of threads. Now there's not as many as what there is on my other Haid, which is a max colour version, but there's a lot of threads to keep an eye on. So that's how I do that one, and I do it in 10 stitch columns on this one. So yeah, let me just spin that a little bit again. So that is there. So I think I'm up to 83, 84 hours. So I'm getting there, and I've got, I gave myself a goal of until the 18th of this month, which is when the race would have ended. I think the race goes from the 16th to the 19th, or the 16th-ish. So yeah, so my goal is to have my 100 hours done by then. So if you would like to support me, I'll put the link in the description, and you can go and donate some money through to Velosano, so through to cancer research. I wanted to try and get up to well, let's see, I have 143 subscribers, so we'll see if I can raise £143. So there we go. I think I've got to 60 something so far, 63, 62. So yeah, so we'll see if we can get to 143. And then I think, yeah, and then by the 18th, so 8 more days. So yeah, so fingers crossed. So, oh, And one thing I didn't mention, so I've got my graham guards again that I made. These that I use at the side, I did look for some side tensioners, but I couldn't find any that I could get in the UK that I could get fast enough because I was impatient. So these are actually mattress, hold your bed sheets onto your mattress, so your flat sheet or your fit sheets. So that's what these are, and they're actually a lot cheaper than the side stretchers sort of thing, tensioners. And yes, they do have the little rubber, I don't know if I can show you against the white. They've got sort of rubber teeth in there, and yeah, like they do sort of mark the fabric a little bit, but they're only going to mark this sort of last ½ inch. Now I did overlock the end, so I serged the ends of the fabric to stop it fraying, and they're only going to mark the end couple of inches. And as you can see, I do have a good 3 or 4 inch gap, and I think I've got about a 5 inch gap on this side. So it's not going to bother me that it's kind of damaging that little bit. I don't know what the side tensioners do. I don't know if they put the same marks in fabric. I've not used them. But these ones, you know, and like I said, that side I've got against the, whatever that bit's called, you know, the end. So they're only ever going into that bit, which, you know, is protected anyway. So, no, I can't remember what the end bit is. But yeah, so I use those, and I don't mind that they just put those little dents in the end and damage it, because I'm not going to use that. That's only going to be used like when it's framed and it's going to be laced on the back, so you're not going to see it anyway. So that is that one. Try and put that down. So there we go. So that is my 2 whips. So nothing very exciting there. That's my whips. That I've been working on, mainly because all of my hours have been spent on this Haid, trying to get that done. Now I do think that I would have spent, if I was still changing up my projects, I'd have probably spent, you know, had more progress. But I'm trying to focus on this one and get my hours in, and I think it's doing the same design is starting to wane on me. So doing this last sort of 16-17 hours across this next week it's going to be a struggle, but I'm going to do it. You know, I said I was going to do it. I said I was going to do my 100 hours. So, you know, and if, you know, Velosano was originally a cycle race where you cycle 100 miles, you know, and that's a struggle for a lot of people. So I can't just give up and be like, oh, it's too hard, I didn't like it. No, I'm going to push through. So yes, and if you're lucky, I might do a stitch with me for my last hour, so my 100th hour. I might do a stitch with me if I can work out how to rig it up. So there we go. So if you've got any questions that you'd like me to answer in my stitch with me, put them below. So there we go. Oh, so my legs are cramping up a little bit. Oh yes, one thing I was going to show you. See, scatterbrain. My silks. So these are from Silks For You, and they're just on one of those, just a giant ring. Giant. Metal circle that comes apart in the middle that opens. I can't even, my brain's not, I haven't had any whiskey, honest. I haven't had any coffee either, not since this morning for breakfast. So, but I thought, because this colour is so hard, I mean that's sort of vaguely what it is. I mean, that's not bad colour wise, but my mum got me one of these as part of my birthday, and so this has the DMC colour chart, and this is all has the actual threads in. So it goes right through to, it has the new Coloris ones in, but it doesn't have the Etoile in. And what I thought, because it's so hard to photo, is that I would use this to try and explain to you the colours that are in this one, because DMC is a common language across all of us. You know, if I tell you the DMC colours, you can pick them out. So, and I think I worked out that in here we've got some 3846, 3845 and 3844. Those colours are in here, as are maybe 3765, 3760, maybe some 3842, maybe some 996 and some 825. Yeah, and some 825. So there you go. So jot those numbers down if you want to have a look. And then the PR147 has some 161, 336, 930, 3750, maybe some 803 and 311 maybe. But yeah, and they're the colours that are in that one, because they don't photograph. So I thought what I'd do is, you know, because I have a lot of her silks and her variegated silks that I'm planning for some upcoming projects. So I thought if I tell you what the DMCs are, you can maybe judge it a bit better if you'd like to buy them. But she sells through Etsy, and she also has her own website that she sells through. I know Etsy charge a ridiculous amount of fees, so buy through her website if you know, to get away with that. But I ain't gonna tell you what to do, you know. So if you like her silks, go find them. And I love the silk. I can sit here and stroke these all day. And that piece of paper is just I've just stapled a piece of paper, sort of looped it around there with the number on. Not that I can forget what the number this is, but this is my favourite. But I've done that with all of her colours, because she writes the numbers on the packaging, but then once you took it out the packaging, you don't have that number. So I actually just took a bit of scrap paper, stapled it into a loop, and wrote on there what number it was. And how I cut the hank was I literally just unwound the hank and cut one end of it. It's literally all I did. And I use one strand, and I use the whole length. So I pull out one strand of it, and obviously it would be double that. And I use one, because I'm only using one strand at a time. With the highly variegated ones like this one is, I probably wouldn't just fold in half. I would probably do use two separate strands if I was going to do that. But you know, you can see the variegation in the colours. I just love this silk so much. I love stroking it almost as much as I love stroking Coco. Almost. I love stroking it. So you need to get silks, even if you just to hold and cuddle. So just to cuddle them, that's all you need. But yes. Anyway, that's like half an hour, and I'm not even like halfway through my video. I do hope you actually went and got a couple when I told you to, because you're going to need it. So I don't know if any of you saw, but at the start of Mania, before I started Mania, I was like, what am I going to do? Could I do this? Could I do that? And Julie from Kansas City Stitcher in a Colorado World. Yeah, that one. She suggested, she's like, oh, you know, she's doing a sale Mania. She's like, why don't you do finish, you know, catch up on your sales? And I saw that, and I laughed a little bit, and then I cried, because I have a lot of sales, and not a single one that I've actually up to date on. None of them. So I thought what I'd do is I'd do a quick run through of all the sales that I've got, the ones that I have, the ones that I haven't even started yet. So yeah, so let's get into it. I have tried to get these into a wee bit of order. What that order is, I can't tell you. It's sort of more when I started them as opposed to their age, I think, because I can't remember when all of them came out. But let's dig in. So we'll start with the ones that I've already started, so the ones that are actually whips. So this is This is a glitter house sale by Country Cottage Needleworks, and so I love doing these street ones. So, and it's on a opalescent 30, 28, 32 maybe. I think it's 32 because the crosses, I've used 2 strands for my crosses and they look quite poofy. So it was the called for fabric. I got it as a kit. So I got the kit as a, not as a kit, as a monthly thing. You all know what I mean. So yeah, and then I ran out of the gold. I think as I was doing this house here, I ran out of the gold sort of sparkly thread. It was a, I can't remember, I think it was an Overa Soir, maybe. So it took me like about 6 months to actually get around to messaging. It was Patchwork Rabbit where I got my kit from. So it took about 6 months for me to get around to actually messaging her to say, I ran out, can you send me another one? So now she has sent me another one. Please don't ask me where it is because I don't know. I have put it somewhere nice and safe. Yeah. In that place where you put nice things to keep them safe and then forget exactly where you put them. Yeah, that's where it is, so that I can carry on. So that's the first one. So that was Country Cottage Needleworks. The next one is a Clouds Factory one. So this is We're All Human, or Humans After All. Can't remember what it's called. It's one of those. It's something to do with humans. And it, again, was a sale. So this came, again, I got it as a kit. So this is a linen of some description. Could be, yeah, I think this one's a 28 count. And this is how much I've got so far. So it started in the middle here, and then it worked towards this side and then up. And that's, this sale is actually finished. So is the Glitter House one. I have all the parts. This one has completely finished. So again, I have all the parts for it. I just haven't caught up. So as you can see, I got up to the Neanderthal and stopped. I have made a couple of little changes on this one, and I will make some more as I go. I think the only thing I can spot straight away that I changed, I changed whatever this was. It's like he's holding a piece of paper, and I can't remember what was charted on it. I have no idea what was charted on it, but I basically recharted and I did a G, so a really old-fashioned swooshy G, because this is a Gutermann press, and Gutermann was the first like mass production of books, sort of machine that mass produced books, mass printed. So if you look up the Gutenberg, not Gutermann, Gutermann is threads, Gutenberg Bible, that was one of, I think that was the first book that he actually put through the press, the printing press. So I changed it to a little G. So this is Gutenberg. And I also changed the skin tone on this person. This is a Chinese empress, that's the Great Wall of China. Because everybody in this is, or at least as far as I saw, some of the later parts, you know, some of the other parts, they might be different. But everyone was charted in this same pinky peachy white person skin tone. And obviously the Emperor of China is not a white person. So I recharted him in a slightly more olivey, slightly more, you know, paler skin tone, not as pink. And you know, and the way I did that was I really crudely, I googled a picture of, I think I just googled Chinese person in Google, and then I got out my chart and I used it a bit like a foundation chart. So where I took my phone, the picture on my phone, and I laid it up against all the colours and just picked out ones that sort of matched the Chinese lady that I had on the picture. That is literally all I did, because I didn't know how else to get the colours. I know now that there is somewhere I might have the link for it still, but there is someone that's done a chart for loads of different skin tones, and they've actually put the numbers in that you can use, but at the time I didn't know that existed. And I think I googled colours for, and nothing really came up, or the colours that did come up were like really weird, and I was like, that's not skin, like nobody's skin looks like that, you know, unless they're from Mars. So yeah, that's what I did, is I just googled, you know, the race that I wanted to get the colours from, and then matched it up to my colour chart. So if you have a colour chart, feel free to do that. That's what I did. I can't actually tell you what colours I used because I don't know offhand. I have no idea, but I just know that they weren't white. And the same as I go along, if other people in here are other races, I will change their skin colour too, because the world isn't white. We're all human, we're not all white. So yes. So and actually, if you follow, I'm going to get this wrong again, I think it was Michelle BendyStitchy who started, or who suggested it, but there is a Representation Matters sale and Diversity Inclusive, so I'll find it out and hopefully write it here somewhere. But yeah, where it's sort of about, you know, using correct skin tones for people, or stitching you know, designs that have sort of people of different races in, so a race that is not your own, or a race that is just not white, because so many designs are depicted with just white people, and I think a lot of designers now are branching out in using those different colours and the different cultures, which is great. So because yeah, representation does matter. And I'll always remember quote I heard from Whoopi Goldberg, and it was when she was young, and she was watching Star Trek, and one of the ladies on there is black, and I just remember her saying that her excitement, because she was like, there was someone on the telly that looked like me, and she wasn't a maid, you know, she wasn't a cleaner, she wasn't just someone to the side, she was a character that was integral to the story. And it just, and she said it was so empowering just to see that I was represented and I could do those things, and that's why representation does matter. So, and yeah, so that's how. So there we go. Anyway, next on my list is this one here, which is another Ink Circles. This was the Mysterious Adventure Project, or the map style. So this was a Stitch Your Own Adventure. So this is on a piece of 32 count Monaco or Murano. Just what I got, plain white from Hobbycraft, and then I tea and coffee dyed it, bacon basted it using one of Vonna's tutorials. And let's see, the key is a minder, it's not actually there. So I've done my borders, I've done my rose there, my compass rose, I've done a lighthouse. The lighthouse and the rose were both done over one, just because there's so many elements that have been designed that I wanted to fit in. If I did everything over two, I wouldn't fit it. So the border's done over two, but yeah, some of the elements are over one. So the little lighthouse is over one. That little island, that's over two. And that's my title. So this is, this writing's over one. This is Elvish, because I like the swooshiness of Elvish. And it says Isle of Elitarism, which an elitarism is basically another word for, I believe, for like a make it up as you go along sort of thing, you know, or roll to decide. It's a roll your dice to decide. And I think someone posted that's what that word meant, and I googled it and it did, so I translated it into Elvish and did that. And then that is going to be a ship. It's going to be a little pirate ship. I'm just starting. And again, I think that's over 1. Yeah, that's over 1. So I don't know if you can sort of see. Oh yeah, you can sort of see the different colours in it. And I use one of the DMC variegated for the leaf border. So there we go. So that's that one. So I've still got lots to do on that one. Lots of things to think of, you know, or not really think of. The designs are all there. It's just a matter of picking which bits I want and then popping them onto my map. So that's that one. I'll try and speed it up because I think we're coming up to an hour now. Not much more to do. And this is Little Dove Designs High Street Sale. So I've got the first 3 bits, and so I did the boutique and the winery and the florists. And I think next is a cafe, and then I'm pretty sure the last 2 bits have come out, so I haven't looked at what the last 2 are because I haven't got there yet. But yeah, I've done quite a lot of different, quite a lot of modifications to this as I've gone along. So using this, breaking all the rules. I've put French knots where there wasn't French knots. I've done some over 1 stitching on the Ada, so not even over 1, so like petty point, but on an Ada, so teeny tiny stitches. So that's that cat just in that window there. And then I actually used real fabric for the dresses instead of cross stitch. So I stitched on some actual fabric. But yeah, did lazy daisies for the daisies. So yeah, this is breaking the rules, all the rules. And obviously breaking another rule because it's a sale and I didn't keep up on it. How's about that one? Well done, Zoe. So yeah, they're all the ones that I've got in progress. All the ones that I have yet to start. So obviously there's nothing really to show you on this, so I'll whip through these quite quick. I have the Mythical Creatures by Pain Free Crafts. So I believe it was a free sale. I don't know if you can still sign up to it. I don't know, but go on painfreecrafts.com. So Pain is P-A-I-N-E, Free Crafts. As far as I've got is buying a pack of the entire pack of the Etoile, because I want to replace at least 1 colour in each block. So it's an alphabet. It's a mythical creature for each letter of the alphabet, and I want to replace 1 colour that is for the Etoile, so it all shines. And that's as far as I've got, is buying the Etoile. I haven't decided on the fabric yet. And I think they're up to N in the alphabet, so that's how far behind I am. What's this? This is 35 count Dr. Smith's Tonic Sparklies. I think Sparklies, is that a brand or is this a picture this plus? I have no idea, but it's kind of a vague greeny colour. Sorry, it's in the packet. But this is for Fantastic Fungi, which is a sale run by Stitchonomy. It's a little bit like maybe number 10, DMC number 10 and 613. I'll pull out those 2 colours. So yeah, but it's mottled, so a bit different. And I'm going to use this for the Fantastic Fungi, which is, again, it is a free sale run by Stitchonomy. It's over on her Patreon account, so head over to there and have a look. Next one is the Letters from Hogwarts sale by Culling Cross Stitch. Again, free sale. The furthest I've got is picking out my fabric. Again, it's from Sew It All. This is Cloud Brown 32 count. I thought it was 36, so it's 32. But yeah, so I might swap it out for 36 because I'm terrible at making my own mind up, and I'm recharting some parts of the design so that I can use a lot more of the elements. So my design is going to be the same width, but it's going to be a lot longer because I'm going to have all 4 banners of the 4 houses in, all 4 of them, and then a longer panel for the lessons and various other bits. So I might have to swap this out for a 36 count because it might not be wide enough. I think this is a fat half. Yeah, this is a fat half, but not entirely sure if it's going to be wide enough. So yeah, but that is that is for that one. So that's as far as I've got. Haven't picked out any of my flosses yet. Haven't even finished charting my biggest, the size, so that I know how big I need to, how big I need the fabric in case a fat quarter's too small or whatever. So next on my list is, now this was a giveaway that I won from Collette Kingsley over on at the Highway Stitcher, and it's a giveaway I won last year, and I was going to get these done for Christmas this year, finish them all as little ornaments. Haven't started yet, but this is the Farmhouse Christmas. So there's the little barn, horsing around, Grandpa's pickup, the little pickup truck, Dairy Darling, the little cow, Grandma's quilt, so that goes in the middle, little quilt block, Pinewood Farm, so for your Christmas tree, Cock-a-doodle-doo, with your rooster up there, Farm Folk, and Baa Black Sheep, with your sheep. So yeah, so I was hoping to have those done for Christmas this year. You never know, might get them started. I think I'm waiting on the actual kit, because it's charted for some colour and cotton. I know it just says CC on the back. No, Classic Colourworks. Classic Colourworks thread. So I'm waiting on supply of those for Patchwork Rabbit, where I buy a lot of my stuff from. So waiting for her to get those in, and I can start it. Next one is Hello Pumpkin by Caterpillar Cross Stitch, and I bought this one last summer. I believe this was her. It's a fall stitch that she had last year. Haven't started it yet. And I think that's it. 1, 2. Oh no, there's some that I haven't even got printed off that I've written down. See, it's a good job I wrote down. There's the Stitchers Code by Stitchingly. That's over on her blog. And there's Quilt Block 1 from Debbie's Designs, her website. So that is that's done on the needlework canvas. It's all specialty stitches. So I've got the bits of that, but they're in another room. And yeah, so that's, let's see, 4 that I have on the go, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, another 7 that I haven't started yet. So you can see why when Julie suggested that, I nearly cried. Yeah, so there we go. So that was that bit. Just have a tiny bit of haul that I'm going to show you. And by tiny I mean like 2 things. So I saw this, I can't remember who had one like this, but they showed it on their channel, and I thought I really could do with something that size. So I had a look on Amazon and found this. It's £17 on Amazon, and it is a double-sided floss box. So I think it's by, I've got another one over there, Options, I think it says, yeah, Options. Double-sided multi-craft carrier is what it's called. So I bought a second one for this method, because this houses all of my threads for, this is for my Amazing Animal Kingdom Haid. So that's all the threads there, and then those ones there. And then these 4 and a bit columns are all the threads for Bath Time, which is the mermaid. And then this is just, I've got scissors in here, I've got the Cry-Nick needle threader, spare needle minder, nail file, all just tucked in those empties. So yeah, so when I use that for those 2 haids, which is great, because start with the hat, I did manage to get all this threads for Bath Time in one floss box, but the obviously the Max Colour Haid took up 3 floss boxes, and it was difficult having to juggle all 3 and get colours from all 3 of the boxes. Whereas now I've got them obviously all in one, so I've just got to have this with me and I can carry it around, move it around where I need it, which is awesome. So, and yes, I bought another one to put all my other threads in. And then I also bought Charting My Needle Art Legacy, a guided needlework journal and inventory notebook for my heirloom stitching pieces after I pass away. This is by Ardith Designs. It is available on Amazon and probably places that other books are sold. It's designed by Amanda May, and I saw this on her channel, and I put it in my cart, and it was just sat there, and I thought I'll get that one day. And then the next time I went to buy some on Amazon, I added this on. I wanted to spend over the £20 to get the free delivery. And this is it's sort of split into two halves. So the first half of the book is like a guided journal. So there's different questions. There is a couple of stitches, cross-stitch charts in here as well. But yeah, there's a couple of questions. So what inspires you to create? Did you have a stitching mentor? What's your least favourite thing to do with stitching? But yeah, what's your aesthetic? But yes, it's split into two halves. That's the first half, and the second half gives you somewhere to put basically to write down about each piece. So you've got somewhere to put a photo, you've got a notes page, and then somewhere to fill in, you know, what it was, what it was called, what you made it with, and then also where you want that piece to go. So if you have a specific guild or a specific person you would like it to donate to after you pass away, or wherever, and you can fill all those details in there. So obviously then when you pass, this can be left to the person that's sorting out your collection, and they'll know exactly where you want certain pieces to go. And I thought I'd get that because some of my, especially my larger pieces, you know, my smaller pieces, like I love them, but I know that other people probably won't. So I am not that bothered if they end up in charity shops and things. But some of my larger pieces and the pieces that took a lot of my time, or pieces that I designed myself, I would like to go to certain people or organisations. So I know that if I finish the Amazing Animal Kingdom, that piece is, you know, 1,000 stitches wide by 750 high. So that's a massive piece. And if I get that finished, I would like to donate that to the Victoria and Albert Art Museum down in London as a piece of art, because I'm estimating it to take 20 years. That's a huge chunk of my life. And I would want it on display for people to see, and, you know, as something. And that's one of the reasons I got that book, is because I know I have other pieces that are big and that I would like to go to certain people. I've got certain pieces that have been personalised for me and that I would like to stay in the family, and, you know, stuff like that. So that is why I bought that book. So Amanda May has loads of different books, charting books, designing books, notebooks, journals, sketchbooks, just loads. Have a check over. Go and watch her channel, go over and watch, check out her Amazon page and have a look and see all of those. So next, let's see, I've just got a couple of shout outs to do. So I've already spoke about Collette over at the Highway Stitcher and Amanda May. But I'd also like to shout out Kimberley over at Kimberley M Honey Bee. So she's recently started her channel. I think she's on video 4 or 5 now. So yeah, go and check her out. Some of her pieces are adorable. She stitches really quick. Some of her pieces she'll show them. Oh, this is my progress. I'm like, really? Wow. So yes, so her designs are adorable. She's lovely to listen to. So go and check her out. And who else? Oh yes, Tabitha Brown over on Instagram. So she's not a stitcher. She does lots of vegan sort of recipes and things, but she's adorable to listen to. She's a lovely lady. So some of her recipes are so much fun. They're really tasty. I have tried a few out myself. Very yummy. And she does shows with her little ones. I say little, they're not like little. You know, they're like 14 maybe, I don't know. But yeah, so go and check her out as well. And obviously if you've not heard from any of my previous videos, you already need to go and watch Stitching in the Cabin, because Alyssa, who, Julie's daughter, it's a mother and daughter duo, Alyssa's getting married. So yes, her fiance proposed. So yes, they're getting married, so there's lots of updates and about their wedding they have at the end of their videos. So obviously if you don't care about weddings, you don't have to, you can just watch the stitching. But if you do care about all their wedding progress, then you can listen to their updates at the end. But yes, so that is going to be lovely. And as I promised, there's going to be a giveaway. So if any of you saw my what shall I do for, what start shall I have for Mania video, you'll have seen this design already. And I do like this design. I love the colours. I like the designer. I've got a couple of pieces from her, but realistically I'm just not going to get around to this. Whilst it's a lovely piece, it's not a piece I see on my wall. So it's just not going to get loved as much. And so this is the kit. So it doesn't come with a pattern. The pattern is still part of a stitch along. It's still an active stitch along. So you would have to go to her direct to purchase the pattern. But it's the kit I'm giving away. So it's got needle, it's got all the threads, and it's got the Ada, 14 count Ada in there. And it is Bloom and Grow by Caterpillar Cross Stitch. Now this is a blurred out picture because I got this at the start. I do have an updated picture that I'll insert here of how long they've got on the sale. So like I said, it comes with all the threads on the thread card, it comes with the fabric, it comes with obviously your floss card with the numbers on. And yeah, so it says finished size is 203 by 115 stitches. And yeah, and there's a nice blurred picture of it there, but hopefully I've inserted that one. So I said this does not come with the pattern, and you would need to go and purchase the pattern directly from Caterpillar Cross Stitch's website, but this is just the kit that I'm giving away. So let's see, if you would like to enter this giveaway, obviously don't say giveaway, don't say freebie or anything like that. And the reason for that is because people just search for those terms and then we'll hop onto a video and just, you know, enter just to get stuff for free that they can then sell. And I don't want this going to just some random person. So don't say any of that. And you must be over 18 in order to be able to give me your address. If you're not 18, it must be your parent, and you must have your parents' permission, and they must give me your address, because you can't do that as a minor. So I am willing to post this anywhere in the world. So just bear in mind, obviously, if you live in like the Arctic, it will take longer to get to you. Partly because of COVID and partly because post isn't great anyway when it goes abroad. But yes, so if you would like to enter, what should we do? What should we do? If you want to enter, tell you what, if you want to enter, shout out your favourite Flosstuber below, because there's a lot of Flosstubers that I only found out through other people shouting them out. So shout out your favourite Flosstuber below and let us know who it is, and then we can all go and follow them as well. So that's what you do. So shout out whoever your favourite is, and then I'll enter you in to draw to win this one. And I will remember to draw this on my next video, which will be about probably a week to 10 days. It'll probably be, like I'm going to be doing a stitch with me on the 18th with the last hour of that, so it won't be for that video, but it'll be my next update. So it'll be after the 18th that I do one, so probably the 20th-ish, somewhere between the 20th and the 23rd, that kind of area. So you've got until then to enter. So there you go. And that is everything, I believe. And thank you for watching this far, and you know that I love you all lots, and yeah, and go and enjoy the rest of your day. And as Tabitha says, if you can't have a good day, don't go and ruin anybody else's. So yeah, but yeah, and I will see you soon. Bye bye.